Oedipus demonstrates strong acts of hopefulness with a great amount of misfortune. Oedipus was hopeful because he took upon the role of ruling Thebes with so much against him, one being the fact that he was told a prophecy by Apollo that he would kill his own father and marry his own mother. This would affect a person with everything they do in life. But Oedipus was hopeful in that the prophecy was not true. Another misfortune was that he was ruling a city that was suffering from a rotten plague. Oedipus was hopeful in giving the people the hope that they need in order to fight through the plague that was deteriorating the city. The priest of Thebes explains to Oedipus exactly what this plague has done to the city. Thebes is in her extremity, and cannot lift her head from the surge of death. A rust consumes the buds and fruits of the earth. The herds are sick, children die unborn, and labor is vain. The god of the plague and Pyre raids like detestable lightning through the city, and all the house of Cadmos is laid waste, all emptied, and all darkened. Death alone bans up upon the misery of Thebes. This adds a lot of pressure on Oedipus, as it would for anyone. Although, Oedipus doesn't turn the people down. He understands what he's facing and accepts the challenge. He has hope in leading the people out of this tragic state. Oedipus soon finds out how he can end the plague. Creon received word from Apollo stating, "By exile or death, blood for blood." It was the murderer that brought the plague wind on the city. Creon goes into further detail stating that it was the person who murdered former King Laos, and that this murder still lies within the city today. This gives Oedipus more hope towards ending the plague and saving the people of Thebes, because he knows what he has to do in order to stop the crisis. Oedipus is driven to solve the case, so he investigates people with the hope of figuring out who the murderer is. Oedipus went to the blind prophet of Thebes, who knew all apparently. He asked him questions towards his investigation, and was accused of being the murderer. "I say that you are the murderer whom you seek." Oedipus doesn't believe this, and continues his hope in finding the truth. As time and clues go on, Oedipus gets in contact with a messenger who worked for Oedipus's father, Polybus. The messenger tells Oedipus that one of Laos's shepherds found him abandoned as a toddler. The shepherd gave Oedipus to the messenger, then Polybus adopted him. Oedipus then got in touch with the shepherd to investigate. The shepherd tells Oedipus that Laos was his real father. In the end, despite all this hope, the prophecy was true. His hope towards finding the murderer was a success, other than the fact that he was the murderer he was looking for. The fact that Oedipus is a murderer indicates who he is. This is because Oedipus murdered a man out of rage. The prophecy did state that he would be a murderer, the killer of his own father to be exact. This behavior indicates the man he has always been. My example of Oedipus's behavior best fits as a vice in Oedipus. The killing of a man out of rage and for no personal reason is considered abnormal and wicked behavior. Being hopeful in general is a good quality that all should possess. It's within the context of the entire play. Everyone should be hopeful at all times. This quality that Oedipus has is a virtue because it's a positive outlook on life that kept him moving forward till the end. No, hope is wanting what's best for you. In Oedipus's case, the prophecy from Apollo was damning on his life. Oedipus didn't want the prophecy to be true,